Hey guys, my name is John, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alright, today we're going to play a little Pokemon Emerald. We're going to do a solo run. While I solo run, I've seen other content creators like JRose11 and my Drive Red. I always loved Pokemon Emerald. I love Pokemon Emeralds as a game. I grew up playing it, and I wondered, can you beat Pokemon Emerald with a Rayquaza only? It's kind of a dumb question because you can get him at level 70 and basically solo the Elite Four. But what I wanted to ask myself and I wanted to see is, can he beat the regular game without being so over leveled, my bad. And once you see his stats, he has a 150 attack, 150 special attack, pretty good defenses, pretty good speed. It has a couple of type matchups. Ice obviously kills it. But apart from that, Rayquaza really shines in his stats and his move pool. So as you guys are going to see in a couple seconds, he has an amazing move pool. You have powerful attacks like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Solar Beam, even if you want to go that route, Dragon Claw, Water Pulse. He has almost everything. And his level up moves really aren't that bad either. Has Twister to start, Ancient Power, Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Outrage, even if you make it to that level. I tried not to make it to that level, but you'll see it in a bit. And also in this generation, for all of you that don't know, HMs are a thing. HMs are basically moves that can be taught to move boulders, destroy boulders. Generation 3 is a little bit different than what you guys are pretty much used to. Why am I battling these trainers? I made another video, and basically the footage was destroyed, so I had to basically play the game again, which actually was a good thing because I could speed through most of it. I believe, as you guys are going to see, I'm just going to blitz through the early game and part of the mid game. The only places that I really had a couple of trouble, maybe Watson, maybe what's the name, Tate and Liza. Tate and Liza, we'll talk about them more in the future, but for now, I'm just leveling up, trying to make these runs consistent. I want to make the following runs consistent. I am working on other runs. I really enjoy playing these games. That's mainly the reason why I started with Pokemon Emerald, and I'm probably going to continue doing these types of videos because I want to see what other Pokemon are good, what other Pokemon are bad, and I'm just curious how they succeed. So this first fight against Roxanne, basically level 14. As you guys saw, I equipped myself with an Oran Berry. And Twister is not resisted by rock-type Pokemon, so which is really nice, especially for Rayquaza. However, I did try this at level 12, but it didn't work. Because you need more damage. And the Nose Pass and the Geodudes, look how much a simple Rock Tomb did at level 14. I won this first attempt in this run, and I learned Ancient Power, which is a move that's going to carry us throughout the whole game. You'll see that I won't delete it. That Omni Boost will help us for a couple of battles. It's really important you don't leave that move or you don't delete that move. Twister, pretty basic, low power move, but it's going to do its damage. It's going to do its thing. Dragon type moves are especially really powerful. And as you can see in this fight against May, Ancient Power just basically annihilates and destroys Torkoal. It's a 3-hit KO, but it's still pretty powerful. Twister's a 2-hit KO against Mudkip. Why did I choose Mudkip? Well, considering the other options, Rayquaza does have moves to basically counter Blaziken, Trico, or Sceptile in this case, and Swampert, but you're not necessarily going to fight against them, and a couple of the May battles I'm going to do just to get the XP, but you can pretty much skip them. This isn't like Generation 1 or Generation 2. You do have some obligatory battles against your rival, but most of the time you can skip them in this generation. Now we're going to go fight Brawly. Again, we're 52 minutes in. I play at a pretty moderate speed, so most of the things that you're going to see, I could do them a lot quicker. The leveling up is going to take a bit of time, but once you get to level 14, Rayquaza just steamrolls through most of the early game, as mentioned. Twister is going to be a 2-shot against Meditite. I think it was a 3-shot against Machop. I didn't quite see. Against Makuhita, it's going to be a 3-shot because of the Citrus Berry. But again, like, we won't take much damage as I expected. Rayquaza is a beast. Rayquaza is literally the box art legendary. Not all the box art legendaries are going to be great, but Rayquaza is just on a whole different level. Now we're going to jump to the May 2 fight, which I believe it is, the May 2 fight, which most other people in speedruns I've seen, she's pretty tough, but Rayquaza is no pushover. At level 20, I believe we learned Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is another move that we won't necessarily delete. We won't actually delete it until one of the final battles, but you guys, I'll explain that moment why. And Rayquaza is pretty interesting because most of his level up moves are really essential for this type of challenge. He basically has all his moves covered. Now, he does have good special, good attack, which is a good thing. However, there's something we need to talk about, and it's the physical and special split. Most of these Pokemon in this generation have physical type moves and special type moves. But it's not really the moves, it's more of the types. Just think about all the evolutions except Dragon are all special attack. And all of the other ones are physical attack. What does that mean? There's going to be a move that we're going to learn. And it's, as you guys saw at the beginning, it's going to be Dragon Dance. Dragon Dance boosts a lot of its physical. It boosts its physical attack. In other generations, I don't believe Twister is, but Dragon Claw, Outrage, all of those moves are physical. So in this generation, Dragon Dance really isn't gonna benefit us that much. It will raise our speed, but it really won't benefit us in the long run. And as you can see in the fight against Watson, it's pretty much over. I did have a couple attempts with Watson. I did have to level up a bit because Watson's Magneton was actually the real problem. It resisted our Dragon type moves. Steel type Pokemon, I believe, do that. They resist Dragon. But still, a couple of levels higher. We're basically the same level as Manectric or Manectric. I don't know. Maybe sorry if I butcher the names. I'm trying not to butcher the name, guys. But seriously, all this EXP and everything we're getting really isn't that important. Will it matter in the long run? You guys see that I just want to beat Rayquaza. I just want to beat the game with Rayquaza. And that's it. Now, after the Watson fight, we're going to jump straight to the Maxi fight. The first Maxi fight. And you guys are going to see that I skip large chunks of the game. It's pretty repetitive. I don't want to bore you guys with me going to Fall Arbor Town, I believe the name is, or the what was it? The mountains where you get the meteorite. I just want to skip to the good parts, skip to the gym battles, so you guys can see that it is possible. If you guys would like, I could leave a longer version of the video. Most of the other Pokemon will need this type of exposure. Like, you guys need to see the process. Maybe for the weaker type Pokemon, which I am planning to do for future videos. I'm still starting out, as you guys can see. I stutter a lot. I'm getting accustomed to this voicing thing. I've never done this before in my life. But it was pretty fun playing the game. Pretty fun editing too. Anyways, we learned Dragon Dance while fighting against Flannery. And again, it's pretty simple. Ancient Power for all the single fire Pokemon. Slugma. Dragon Claw does most of the work. It's really simple playing as Rayquaza. You're literally playing as the box legendary in Emerald. And it's pretty much easy. And we skipped straight to Norman. Why am I playing Emerald and not Ruby and Sapphire? Again, Emerald, I grew up playing Emerald, so I'm just really fond of the game. Brings back a lot of memories, and it's the harder of both versions. So that's why I wanted to play it. I wanted to see if it's really possible to do so. As you can see, we're still level 30. We just beat Flannery, and we're gonna start with that. This is my second attempt, I believe, against Norman, because slacking and the luck I had against the Spinda with the teeter dance really annoyed me. Slacking knocks us out. I'm just gonna start again, beat Norman again. I think this is the second attempt. Or was it 3? Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. This is the third or second attempt. I don't know, you guys. You guys keep count. But basically in this one, I had a little bit more luck. Dragon Claw just obliterates most Pokemon this late, middle of the game. And Ancient Power, we're just hoping for those Omni Boost. You see, I got lucky. I survived at 2 HP, which is just amazing. And we get Surf. Surf is another move that we're going to talk about later, because there's going to be a gym leader that we're going to have to use it. Again, the difficulty of this game comes in many forms. And one of them is the gym battles. One of them is actually the Elite Four changes a lot, which you guys might think is a lot easier. But this move that we're going to get here in the power plant helps really at the end of the game. This is a bit of a side quest. I could have skipped it, but I just wanted to show you all that you've never gotten Thunderbolt, or maybe even discovered this area. Most parts of the games, like, you can really skip past them. Like, if you don't play them a lot, you really will miss a lot of things. Like, Pokemon Emerald introduced a lot of mechanics, a lot of different scenarios. It's really a fun game. So after talking to Steven, we jump here to the Weather Institute, I believe it is, where you get Castform. And we're going to fight one of the grunts. Was it necessary to show off the grunts? Maybe not. I just did it for a little bit of, like, information. Wanted to see if Twister or Dragon Claw against a Carvanha could basically hit us and damage us. But we go into the third May fight. She sends out to the Lombre. We just beat her, guys. It really isn't that complicated. If I either choose Blaziken or your Growlithe to be the starter that my rival chooses, Trico or Torchic, we had moves to counter them. Ancient Power covers Torchic. You learn Fly, so I could have just teach them a flying move. He would have beaten Trico. And offensively, Trico couldn't do anything to us. Now, we learned Crunch, which, again, if it wasn't for the physical and special split, like if it was the one that we got in Generation 4, then Dragon Dance and Crunch and all these other moves would have done a little bit more damage. Now, against Winona, I believe, which is the flying type gym leader, the scary part is actually the Tropius and the Skarmory. Skarmory resists our Dragon type moves, our Dark type moves, and even our Rock type moves. It doesn't do super effective damage, which is what I would like. And to be honest, we were a bit lucky in this fight because of a couple of the misses. As you guys saw, the Omni Boost we got from Ancient Power, which some would call it luck, but it's a mechanic in the game and it's probable to happen, same as flinching. So really no problem there. And she gives us Aerial Ace. And Aerial Ace really, really is the best move that Rayquaza can learn, because it's physical. Dragon Dance really boosts it up. Most types except Rock types, Steel types. I think there's one more type, but I can't remember right now. It really affects everything. So right here, we're going to pick up a rare candy on, I think it's Mount Pierre. I don't know, not French. And we're going to skip to the second Maxi fight. This is where we awaken Groudon. These fights, again, it's not necessary to really stress them too much. They're not hard. They're not difficult. It's just that I wanted to show them to see how powerful this Pokemon really is throughout the what some would consider some of the difficult fights in the game. This Crobat, by the time you're going to fight him, you're probably a little bit underleveled. It's a really strong Pokemon if you're not prepared for it. And hell, it's Rayquaza at level 39 or 40, and we got out with 40% with only 40% HP. And this is a freaking legendary. Anyways, we're going to go to the Grunt fight after we unlock basically route, I don't remember the number, but we're going to go to Tate and Liza. And this is where Surf is going to become really important. Surf, you need luck and you need Surf. This is the first attempt that I did. Poochyena faints, obviously with a Howl because I don't want Poochyena to attack. But you need two Pokemon, and look how easy they took us down. You're basically going to see now a montage of me losing repeatedly against Tate and Liza. I believe for speed runs, Tate and Liza are basically like run enders, I think they're called. And you just have to be really lucky with Surf. Again, they use a lot of moves to like... Claydol will use Light Screen, Xatu will use Calm Mind, and then they'll just beat you up with Psychic. As you can see here, even if you knock one out, Lunatone and Claydol will not take too much damage because of that Light Screen. So I just decided to go and train a little bit more, raise my level, maybe level 44 or level 45. As you can see, we're in Pacific Log Town because I decided to expand, go to other places that for, save time. Because obviously, if you haven't played this game, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's something that happens in Pacific Log Town. And this is my first attempt, I believe, at level 45. It's a little bit difficult, and we still lose the first attempt. But you see that we do a lot more damage to both of them with Surf. There's some items that we could use, like the Mystic Water. But I did get lucky with this run. This was like my fourth or fifth attempt. And I got a lucky crit against Claydol and Lunatone. And I believe it was against Solrock too. But it's really difficult with just one Pokemon to beat Tate and Liza. After that, we got the Maxi fight. I'm really not going to show it because it's pretty easy. After that, we find the submarine hidden beneath the water. We get Earthquake, which is another move we're going to have to use for the Elite Four. Again, you learn most of the important moves in this generation. You either get them or you learn them. Rayquaza learns 2 or 3 throughout the game, throughout the beginning. And then you get the other ones as rewards, and they're directly in your path, so you can get them. Again, Archie's just a pushover. We wake up Kyogre. Now's the world-ending scene where the bad guys find out that they could have done other stuff instead of literally trying to flood the world, or Eternal Sunshine, I guess. This one, we're just going to go see Wallace, try to find a solution for all these problems, which we're going to go to the Sky Pillar and awaken our cousin, which is basically asleep, but we wake him up. And this is one of the most beautiful scenes that you will see in the Game Boy Advance games. Rayquaza going to Subtopolis, just the animation for this game. This is why I love this game so much. It's one of my favorite scenes of the entire game. Anyways, after that masterpiece, we're going to go and battle Juan. I saved because I knew I was going to mess up. All right, so we're going to battle Juan. In Generation 3, I believe you battle Wallace. But in Gen 3, you battle Juan. Kingdra, we get a glimpse of what we might expect in the Elite Four. But basically, Dragon Claw just does its damage. Celio is a bit of a powerful Pokemon because remember, Ice does 4 times damage to us. Wishcast is another problem. Amnesias, basically they hinder Dragon Claw because remember, this isn't physical. This is more special. But the other Pokemon are complete jokes. So Juan was a bit difficult, but this was my first attempt, and we did it. Now we're gonna go to the Evergrande City. This is basically our victory road. Super repels, and we're gonna fight Wally. Wally isn't too much of a difficult fight either. Again, we're playing with Rayquaza. He's the strongest Pokemon in the game up till now. Maybe there's another Pokemon that's stronger that we don't know. Out of all of the solo runs that I've seen, because as I said, I've seen other people's solo runs. J-Rose, my dry bread, really fan of them. But I've never seen someone dedicate their videos to Gen 3, and that's what I'm trying to build here. Now, I deposit all my Pokemon. I buy a couple of, I think it was Hyper Potion Food Restores. No, I already had them. I forgot. Editing is hard, man. I can't remember what most of the things that I edited back. My plan's pretty straightforward. Citrus Berry is going to help us in some of the fights. I played the Elite Four. You know what? Let me just show you the runs. So first off is Sydney. Sydney's team isn't that difficult. Yes, the Intimidate does lower our attack, but normally Mightyena will go for either Double Edge or Sand Attack. Sand Attack is the better of the two because we have Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace is physical, so we don't lose too much there. We just gain attack, gain speed, and he's just Sand Attacking us. And two of their Pokemon are weak against Aerial Ace. And Crawdont is basically just a one-hit KO with a critical hit, obviously. Anything's a one-hit KO with critical hits. So we're going to heal up, and we're going to go against Phoebe, I believe she is. Now, why am I leveling up with the rare candies? There's going to be an annoying point here. I need to teach him Earthquake just to knock out the first Dusclops. The first Dusclops always uses Protect, and when it doesn't, it can either go for its other moves, which isn't an ideal thing to happen. Ideal thing is he either misses with Protect or you basically look out and he gets Shadow Punch or something. Because that second Dusclops, as you saw, has Ice Beam. And that can do some serious damage to us. But after that, everything is just a one-hit KO with Dragon Claw or Earthquake. Except the Bayonets, because they have Levitate, so you can't use Earthquake. So then we're going to battle, forgot her name. Let's wait until she goes back. Glacia, there we go. Glacia basically is a wall for our team if you don't know how to play against her. The only thing you have to do is do 3 Dragon Dances, and you can sweep through her team. And you're going to see that at a lower level, you can even do this. This is just the first attempt. I wanted to measure how good Rayquaza was. Remember, you get Rayquaza level 70. So he has a better move, which is Outrage. At this point, you just have your basic moves. You still have Dragon Dance. You still have Dragon Claw. You still have Ancient Power, which is amazing. Like, all those moves, you learn them throughout the game. After that, we're going to go against Drake. Pretty straightforward as well. We have amazing special attack. Dragon Dance is going to do... Well, it's going to serve a little function in the beginning just to outspeed everything. Because Shogun uses Protect sometimes. And this time he used Rock Tomb, which, sure, he wants to do whatever he wants. Dragon Claw, Ancient Power against Altaria. You can also use Dragon Claw against Flygon and Ancient Power against Salamence. I found out that maybe Dragon Claw is the better option. It's more damage. Even a boosted... well, no. Actually, Dragon Dance is basically canceled with the Rock Tomb and the entrance of Salamence. We're going to ignore Stream Speed and just one-shot the Kingdra. And now we're going to battle Wallace. I'm not going to lie, I was a bit scared of Wallace because I know most of his 2 or 3 of his Pokemon carry Ice Beam, and his Wailord actually carries Blizzard, which isn't very accurate, but for some reason Wailord just annihilates me with that. And as you can see, Milotic also has the Ice Beam, which sucks because you have to go through all the Elite Four again. Basically, Rayquaza does a really good job against them. Again, in the beginning, if you just do Dragon Dance and Aerial Ace, or a couple of combinations, you're just going to do fine. And what you're going to see is a couple of attempts that I tried to see if either I could one-shot them at lower levels, what combinations work, what combinations don't work, in case in the future you guys want to try this out. I was pretty impressed. I believe I can do better with Rayquaza, but I believe I did a pretty good job here at the end after I found out all the works that I had to do. Again, I tried this for like 2 days. I'm actually studying, so that's why it took 2 days. But if I was a little bit more dedicated to the playing, but obviously I'm in finals right now, so I'm not going to dedicate most of it. I found a couple of things that worked. For example, the Celio, I don't know how you guys want to say it. If you resist its first 2 ice balls, even at level 55, remember, I leveled up with rare candies to level 58. So at level 55, you survive with 3%, 3 HP. But still, it works. Like, if you don't get a critical hit with Ice Ball, you're guaranteed to win. And if you only get 2, I think you also can beat Glacia, but 3 is the safer bet. 3 Dragon Dances, 5 Earthquakes, you're done. And in this run, I decided to use the 5 Rare Candies at the end. Because Wallace's team is really is a wall, basically. Thunderbolt can only do so much. It's amazing that it can one-shot the Wailord, but the real problem is the Milotic. Later, I had to look up Wallace's team, and I found an opening. I found an opening, guys, and I'll show you what I did. All right, for Wailord, we used Thunderbolt. It's a one-shot. It one-hit KOs him. That's all you have to do. Tentacruel, you can use Earthquake. Again, pretty high attack, pretty good move. The Milotic, you have to eat basically an Ice Beam, but if you have put a Citrus Berry, you'll be fine. Gyarados intimidates you, sucks, but you have to use a Thunderbolt. It'll one-shot him. Now, Bulk Up. Bulk Up is amazing for Rayquaza because of 2 things. Whiscash obviously raises your defense, and Whiscash, which is the last Pokemon, uses Hyper Beam. But it doesn't matter. Once you use Bulk Up 2 or 3 times against Ludicolo, you win. And after this, I decided, you know what? We won the game. I finished the game. It wasn't hard until that Wallace fight, but there's still one more challenge that I decided to do. And as you all know who have played this game, it's the one and only Steven Stone. Now, once you go to Steven, the best move ever, Iron Tail, which it always hits. No, it doesn't. It always fails. It's right there accessible to you. Now, for this battle, it was a little bit difficult. Now, this is my second attempt against Steven. It was a little bit hard because most of his Pokemon are level 70-something. And his highest is Metagross at level 78, which is a powerhouse. But pretty much what I did against Ludicolo in the Wallace fight, a couple of bulk ups is all you need. And you'll basically, it's a little bit difficult. You have to be pretty wary of all the other Pokemon that he has, because he might switch out, as you guys saw. Some of the moves aren't super effective. Some of them are resisted. Some of them don't even hit him. Like Earthquake doesn't hit Claydol, so you have to have Iron Tail just for Claydol. But it was a really fun run. It was an interesting run. I'll just leave you guys to see how this battle ends. And you'll see that lucky Earthquake that I hit at the end without spoiling too much. But thank you very much if you kept watching until now. Please consider subscribing. I really enjoyed making this video. It was a bit of a process, but it was a bit of a fun process. And I hope I see you guys in the next video. And nothing. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.